All right, so we're back. We continue our episodes and podcasts with local government, which I think it's always good, something we talked about.
Yes, it is.
And today we have a very special one, unique, Roberto Gonzalez from District 11 in West Kendall.
Welcome, Commissioner.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. It's unique, and I say unique because we always talk about the city of Miami. We talk about Doral. We talk about Coral Gables, Pinecrest, everything. And kind of West Kendall kind of just stays out there west.
Well, it's not so much West Kendall. I think we already kicked off the whole Miami-Dade vibe with Sunday with the mayor.
Yes.
And then now today we have the commissioner.
Yeah.
Which is, before we
the
started.
Commissioner of the best place to live in all of Miami-Dade County,
Yes,
if I do say so myself.
And I will tell you something, and I'll tell you right now, that used to be my district.
Oh, yeah?
I used to live, because I lived in horse country.
Oh, no way.
So I used to live in horse country before I moved over to South Miami, but
I will say this. I'm going to make it so good in Kendall. We're going to make it great.
We're going to go back?
You're going to come back, brother. You're going to come back to Kendall.
So
I can't. No, I can't.
Wait, this is the first time I'm hearing this.
Listen,
So
you're
are
going to
you
come
a
back.
Kendall boy?
Well, it's not that I was a Kendall boy. I mean, I got married, and then, we found a great opportunity. When I got married, we found a great opportunity in horse country.
Yeah, because
Well, if I may, so that's probably the biggest demographic that we have, right? We have a lot of young entrepreneurs, young people that are getting ready to explore life, right? To make it. As a matter of fact, my wife and I, first house I ever bought with my wife was out by the Cutler Bay area, right? Okay. And then I bought like my first house in Kendall, right?
Yeah.
Started my family in Kendall.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place to raise a family.
Listen, I love horse country.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a person, I love land. So, I mean, for me, horse country over there is one of the finest places. My biggest thing was, and I'll tell you the truth, it was because of schools.
Right.
At that time, my kids were young, and they were in a school down by this South Miami area. So then I decided that's why, the whole transition of, every morning I had to wake up like an extra hour just to drive my daughter and my son to the schools just because of that. So that was my biggest reason. If not, I tell you this much. And by the way, I have 3 of my dearest friends in horse country. I mean,
so horse country is actually not in my district, but I think we're talking about the same thing.
It is right.
The same thing, in that the southwest, right? The southwest of the county is many times overlooked.
Right.
And we have so much talent out there.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest with you, not only do we have so much talent, but we have great people that want great services out there. And 100%. They've been looking for people that are coming into government that are going to, speak for them. Miami-Dade County has a huge component of entrepreneurs, young professionals, and people that want to make it to the next level. Middle-class people, right? Working-class people that want to be represented and want their voices heard. I think that's why you've seen the dynamic in the commission change so much in the few couple of years, right?
Please,
you got Anthony, you got Kevin, you got myself.
Yeah.
You have this young, vibrant commission that really wants to make moves and represent this middle class, working class, and all walks of life.
Yeah. Well, and I love it also because not only apart from that, but you have that time now with the term limits. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? That
I'm a big proponent on term limits.
Now you have to really get shit done.
Yeah.
Usually when you have these term limits, a lot of these people, sit back, relax. Oh, I have time. But even before we continue, for those that don't know you, the ones that don't know your background, tell us. What's your background? What's your bread and butter? And the fact of how'd you get where you are now? What some people will tell you what came over you, what bit you, because politics is very special.
Yeah, I get you.
I mean, you either like it, don't like it, or you get, very disappointed with it.
Yeah.
But I always say, what's your profession? How did, you get to where you got, and what was the strive?
Right. So why did I get into politics? Right. And that's a difficult question to answer because by nature, I'm not supposed to be here.
Okay.
And I'm not a politician.
Okay.
Right. So
those are the best, by the way.
So I grew up in the Sweetwater Fontainebleau area.
Okay.
Right. I went to Stirrup Elementary, went to Ruben Dario Middle School. I graduated from Cole Park Senior High. Now, I went
here,
brother. Baby.
What's up?
Yeah.
87.
2005.
Just at my age, but I'm a proud 56-year-old, but we're good.
He's a young
Amen.
56-year-old.
Amen. But so I went to Ruben Dario Middle School the year that they beat up a kid so bad his eye came out of his socket.
Wow.
Right. So you're talking about 3 lives that were ruined, right? Because you got a kid, a child who lost his eye, and you got 2 other children that went to prison. Right. So at that time, right, Miami was very different. And that area, the Sweetwater, Fontainebleau area, you had a lot of gangs and you had a lot of, different influences, right? And many times influence will definitely kind of shape you, right? One secret weapon that I had is that I always had God on my side, right?
Very important.
No matter what. And I had tremendous parents. Like my parents were amazing. And I had friends that would tell me, man, I wish I had parents like yours.
Were they like the cool parents that everybody can come over, hang out, they're buying pizza for?
No, they were the opposite, bro.
Oh, wow.
They were the opposite. As a matter of fact,
no quiero toda esa gente metida en mi casa.
Well, I'll tell you, that's my wife. Like if you go to my house, you got all of my kids' friends all at my house.
No, that's my house now too.
Yeah.
So that is true.
How were they? More or less, what was it?
So they were really freaking strict. And they were really involved in my life, right? And I had friends who had parents who didn't care, and they would tell me all the time, "Rob, I wish I had parents like yours." And I'd be like, "Bro, you want to trade because I can't do anything."
Yeah.
Right. So much so, and I know I'm being long-winded, but there's a point. I promise.
No, absolutely.
But so much so that my mom finds out I'm hanging out with the wrong people. Right. I get home one day, and my mom is like, "I'm gonna send you to boot camp." This is back then when Maury, I'm telling my age, but I don't know if you guys remember, right?
Yeah.
This
Jerry
is
Springer.
And they would send kids to boot camp. So I'm like, Mom, you have to commit a crime to go to boot camp. Like, I don't know if you know how things work, but you can't just send people to boot camp. I was wrong. I was wrong. You actually can send people to boot camp. There is a tremendous program in Miami called the Civil Air Patrol. And basically what they do is they kind of mentor kids into aviation. And we'll talk about aviation in a second. But I get home one day, my bags are packed, right? And I went to boot camp. Best thing that ever happened.
Wow.
Best thing that ever happened.
That sounds a little Colmerish to me too. And with our other friend when they send them not to Colmer.
Yeah,
but that's another story. But you see, I mean, that takes a lot from parents, by the way.
Yeah,
that takes a lot from parents because sometimes I want to tell my kid I'm sending you, and I'm like, I can't pack a bag for the kid. I can't do it.
Tough.
But that takes a lot from
tough,
parents,
man.
by the way.
So my mom's tough, and that really saved my life. So then, how did I get into politics? Right.
Yeah.
So. That experience leads to several other experiences and several mentors that I've had in my life, from Nelson Diaz to Joe Bober, several people that kind of, pointed me in the right direction in my life. Even though I'm trying to go this way, God is like, hey, meet this person. They're going to help you get to the right place. Eventually.
Joe Bober's a good guy to get mentored by.
Hey, Joe Bober is an incredible guy.
Joe very well.
Incredible guy. He really believed in me when a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
But that's the story of my life, man, right? Like, I'm a Miami guy that's not supposed to be here, and then I have great people that believe in me,
well,
right?
But before politics, we were talking off air. I mean, your story is that you're an attorney.
I am an attorney.
You're an attorney.
I am an attorney. And then even to become an attorney was something that I never expected to happen, right? Because when I was growing up, people from my neighborhood, right, they didn't become attorneys.
No.
They didn't become doctors.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You played baseball, and if you were lucky, you made it to the majors, or at least you got to college, right? If not, good luck.
Right.
So basically, I am a nerd by choice. I enjoy reading, right? It's just something, I guess it's something that has always intrigued me, right? I like reading. I like history. I like philosophy. After boot camp, I get really into working out. I became a personal trainer. I was a personal trainer for 9 years.
Wow. Okay.
I end up getting a job at this little gym called Gables Fitness,
Okay.
right? Mm-hmm. And because I'm into reading, they give me all of the very intelligent, I guess, clients.
Okay.
Right? I end up training this one guy. His name is Nelson, right? He's like one of the top lobbyists in Florida, right? He's 30-something. I'm 20-something. We're always talking about politics, philosophy, etc. The guy basically pulls me to the side one day. He says, I'm about to have a kid. He's about to have a kid. He says, Rob, is this what you're going to do with your life? And I'm like, what do you mean, bro? Like, I work at a gym. This is great. He says, no, man. Like, are you going to own the gym? Right? Are you going to be like a top trainer in Miami? Like, what is your goal? Because you're way too smart for this. To my credit, I'm making like $13 an hour, right? But that really punched me in the face, right? Yeah. So he tells me, you know what? Do me a favor, man. You're too smart for this. Yeah. At the time, I had 2 bachelor degrees, right? He's like, look, go to law school. Like if it's that easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you get out, I'll help you find a job. I went home. I figured out what an LSAT was, right? Took the LSAT. He wrote me like my only recommendation letter, right?
Wow.
Got into St. Thomas with a scholarship. Went to St. Thomas. The entire time I'm in St. Thomas, I'm thinking about starting a law firm. I get out of St. Thomas, right? I worked for a guy for like 4 months, started my own law firm, and then the rest is history, right? I own a law firm. It's called Paragons of the Attorneys. You know, we did corporate law for a while, family law. Right now, we mainly concentrate on employment law on the plaintiff side and the defense side, you know, protecting people. And we also do personal injury and a little bit of immigration.
Excellent.
Okay.
So you are the first commissioner that, at least to my mind, I being a Kendall resident and part of your district, that I've seen that's actually handling social media the right way. And I think you're leveraging it in a unique format that a lot of, you know, politicians are doing now. And I think Trump actually kind of blazed the way of how to like leverage social media and Twitter, etc. But I see you out there going to door. You're going to different businesses. You're going to different neighborhoods. You're shouting out different neighborhoods with a good association. That's how the video did it. And why did you decide District 11? And how did that come about? Like, I'm going to run for commissioner.
Right. So I feel like, especially after 2020, this is just personal for me. After the 2020 election, I felt, I was on the Republican Executive Committee. I felt like we could have done so much more to reach the youth. That's just the way that I felt.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. You need to be involved in the political process. And young people nowadays need to understand that their voice matters, right? So rather than going on Twitter, this person's an idiot, right? You need to put your money where your mouth is, and you need to actually do something about it. So I literally started a group to help people understand what local politics will do for you, because everybody's so concerned about what the president does, but what they don't understand is that your local politics affects you way
100%.
more than anything else, right? So you can do great things, right? But if people don't see it and don't understand it, how can they get involved,
100%.
right? So after the 2020 election, I decided to show people how they can get involved in local politics. You know, eventually I end up becoming the commissioner, right? I was appointed by Ron DeSantis. I became the commissioner of District 11, and my mission from day one has been to make sure that people's voices are heard. How are you going to represent people if you don't speak to them?
Yeah.
How are you going to know what people want if you don't ask them? So if they're not going to come to the commission meetings, I'm going to go to your doorstep. I'm going to go to your business. I want to know what you want, because I want to make this the best place to live for you.
Well, and half of those people don't even go to commission meetings.
I know.
And half of those people in these commissions, and you know, you touch on a very good subject, because let's go back a little bit. Number one, you know, very good kudos the fact that you were even appointed by the governor. I mean, that appointment itself is pretty big.
Yeah, one of the greatest governors in probably in American history.
So the fact, you know, because it comes down to a tough decision when I know the commissioner was there and he was removed, in the sense of, you know, for one to be named, it's But
wait, for that spot, you don't vote? 'Cause I've seen
you do vote.
Yeah,
You do.
You do.
In that spot, the commissioner was there, had some issues, and they removed him. And then you, as the governor, go ahead and appoint someone. You know what I'm saying?
Impressive.
So basically, that's what I'm saying. That's pretty impressive in the sense that, you know, you caught the eye of the governor to say, I want to appoint Robert, you know, to that position.
No, and I'm humbled by it. You know, like I said, man, God's always looking out for me.
But at the same time, you know, it's good that you say that, because a lot of people complain about their areas. A lot of people will complain, you know, there's a problem, I don't know, you know, with the stop sign or the neighborhood and the speeding, and that's me. So I'm the first one that, you know, I'm in my neighborhood. I mean, everybody looks at me like, you know, I'll be
He's the male Karen.
I'll be out there and I'll see the car speeding. I'll stand there and I'll say something. You know, my wife sometimes says, you know, sometimes somebody's going to come out and say some shit to you. And I'll pass by and go, you know, slow down. You know, I'll see the people walking. You know, my neighborhood, a lot of people walk.
But you have narrow
with their
streets
kids,
too, you know.
Well, but the kids, babies and dogs and stuff like that. But the point that you just said, it's so important for the people of their neighborhood to be involved.
Amen.
And it's so important because not many commissioners do. Let me see. I'm not going to get any wrath with this, but not that they don't care. They do care. But commissioners also get into local governments, you know, to see bigger
different
aspirations and different things that they have to see. But you always have to remember your neighborhood. You
Amen.
got there because of your district.
Amen. And you know what? To that point, right? A lot of people think that we live in a democracy.
Mm-hmm.
We do not live in a democracy. The United States of America is a constitutional republic, right? Which means that it only works when people are involved in the process. So for many years, what I have seen sitting on the sidelines, right, is that people don't get involved in the process. And then we get upset when things don't go our way,
They
right?
want to give opinions, but they don't get involved.
Absolutely. It's like, for example, you're watching the Super Bowl and you're saying, I can't believe this guy just threw that ball. What an idiot. I can't believe he missed that, right?
Yeah.
But you're not getting in the game,
you don't know.
right? It's hard to play football. It's hard to get into the NFL. It's hard to win a Super Bowl. You need to get involved, right? A lot of people don't know they can get involved. A lot of people don't know the issues. And you know what? I would even say this. I think sometimes on purpose, the government kind of acts like these things are really complicated.
Yep.
They're not that complicated.
At all.
So to your point,
That's
what are
why the social media.
What are 3 ways that someone can get involved, like in your district or anywhere typically? What would you say?
Anywhere in Miami-Dade County, especially if you live in District 11, but I don't care where you live in Miami-Dade County. Call my office, 305-375-5511. I want you to come to the county commission meetings, right? I want you to see the way that these things are debated. I want you to read the agendas. I will send them to you, my friend.
Gotcha.
My team will walk you through how to get all of these agendas so that you can see the things that your government is voting for.
Most people don't understand that they can kind of like put something in front of you for it to get fixed.
Yes,
right?
dude.
So I'm going to put something in front of you right now that I need fixed.
Let's do it.
Right? And I don't know if it's even possible, but the Migosuyo Golf Course,
yes,
right? It's dark at night, right? Like it's really dark at night. And we've had a lot of like accidents and bikes and stuff like that in the past there. And
you're talking about the street?
That's the edge. The edge that goes all around the golf course. Is it possible? I don't even know if it's possible or not to put lights in the center, or how? If I wanted to start something like that, what would be? Would I have to collect petitions? Would I have to get signatures? How would I bring that?
What you have to figure out.
Yeah, the first thing you need to do is you need to call my office, right? Once you call my office, my team is going to do all that research for you, brother.
Gotcha.
They're going to do all that research for you, and they're going to walk you through the steps.
You can hate them now already, office.
No. I'm the president of my association, so my people
it.
tell me, hey, you think I know you're connected? You think you can talk to anybody about that?
I will give you a perfect example, my friend, right? Kendall is known for pickleball. We got some of the best pickleball players in the world, bro. Yeah. In the world, right? So there are some pickleball
future
leagues.
Olympic people coming out of Kendall.
Hey, perhaps. There's some pickleball leagues in our district, right? And there's some courts that don't have lights, right? They're very dark, and then folks can't play after dark. Yep. They reached out to me via Instagram. Here's why the social media. Here's why letting people know that I'm here for you, right? They reached out on social media. They were able to speak to this gentleman that works in my office, Karim, right? Karim went out there, scoped out the place. We had a town hall. We are now putting lights at the pickleball courts.
Wow, that's amazing.
Right? After we collected all the petitions, after we went through the entire process of how to get this done, finding the funds, allocating
Listen to the people who happy, not going to be happy, but trying to make everybody happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's action-oriented. That's impressive.
But that's how it works.
I like that.
Sticking on that subject, talk to me about the amount of restaurants that have been opened in that district. I feel like, it's another world.
Absolutely.
When people come here, and everybody that comes to Miami, everybody feels that Miami is like, the beach. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It feels like, Miami is, the beach. I always tell people, when you come to Miami, you have to explore so many different areas in all of Dade County.
But you need to go to West Kendall because
100%.
Because the culinary hustle that we have in West Kendall is superb, right? Vice City Pizza, not sure if you guys have
of course, we've had them here.
Put them here.
Vice City is incredible. Smoking Dough is incredible. Apocalypse Now, incredible, right? Tacos and Tattoos, not in my district, but they're great. Right?
They're in the border.
That's Killian, no? That's Killian area?
Yeah, it's the Killian area.
Yeah.
So then...
But wait, to that point, and I think this is where you're going, or maybe not.
Probably not. Okay. You're never going to go You're never going to go the route that I'm going with questions.
You finish.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to blow it up at the end. Finish.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, you have to give us your top 3 spots to go eat.
Okay, not now.
Okay,
we're going to do that. You can blow that one up.
That's what I'm saying. Go.
Because that's, there we go back to the questions. That's always Eddie's thing with the fact of
we asked that to everyone.
The fact of your top 3. But I want to stick on something right now because are you up for election now? Are you going up for election?
I am. I'm up for election right now. And man, let me tell you, it's refreshing. It's refreshing and humbling to see the amount of people that you talk to that are like, man, I know who you are.
That's cool.
Right? I had a guy call me the other day and thank me, saying that we saved his life with the Saber Seniors initiative that we worked on with the mayor to get our seniors back $500, right, from the millage rate. That's something that we worked. That's something that I worked on myself. And this guy calls me, and he's, he had tears in his eyes. He's crying, and he's telling me, "Man, listen, you saved my life because you don't understand what $500 meant to me after I had open heart surgery."
Wow.
This is why you do these things. But more than that, people like you and I, we don't do this because we don't want to be in the public eye, right? But then again, right? If not you, then who?
Yeah.
If not now, then when? And if you're not willing to get in the game to make things better, then don't complain.
Well, 100%. Tell me top issues that is going on now that people have concerns in your district that you're on top of right now, that you're trying to resolve.
Yeah.
So the biggest issue, I would say, is traffic. Traffic is the biggest issue. And I think the reason that we have the traffic issue in Miami-Dade County is because, I'm not trying to knock anybody, but for many years we have politicians that think election to election to election, and they don't make the difficult decisions that need to be made, right? What am I talking about? We don't have proper infrastructure in Miami-Dade County. We just don't, right? So let's take West Kendall as an example, right? West Kendall, District 11 is the best place to live in all of Miami-Dade County. I don't care what I don't care what anybody has to say. It's the best place to live. You got young kids. You're a young entrepreneur. You're a young professional. You're a middle class person. You have young kids. This is the best place to live.
You can actually buy a house out there too.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's nothing to do. And even though we're getting all these great culinary restaurants out there, right? Anything you want to do in West Kendall, you got to get in a car and you need to drive for at least 45 minutes, more than that. A lot of people live in West Kendall, but they work in Coral Gables,
100%.
right? They work in downtown. They work in Doral. So what happens, right? Everybody's in a car at least 45 minutes. Perfect example. I want to get ice cream with my daughter on a Saturday, right? I can go to, let's just say I'm going to Cold Stones, right? Going to Cold Stones on 142nd and 8th.
Yep.
We go into Cold Stones, we go out, we go home. Or we can go to City Place to Route. Or we can go to Merrick Park. Or, you see what I'm saying? We can have an evening. But in order to do that, you need to get in a car for 45 minutes.
Sure.
So why am I saying all of this? Because we need live, work, and play. And unfortunately, what a lot of people are talking about right now is we need to build up. We cannot have apartment buildings in Kendall. We just can't. We don't have the infrastructure for it. It doesn't exist right now.
It'll cause more traffic.
What we need is work and play. Why do we need work and play? Because, folks, that will create connectivity. Once you bring more job opportunities in West Kendall, once you bring more ways that folks can go to restaurants, have fun, then guess what? They never have to leave. So you look at a place like Spain, or you look at Chicago, or you look at even the Gables, right? You don't have to leave, right?
Yeah, you can walk around.
More than that, you can now incentivize folks to use public transportation. Because I'm not going to take the bus to come to your house. Yeah. It's just not going to happen.
So I was going to ask you about that because that's a very important point. And there's been a lot of rumors and plans for years that by 88th Street, Kendall Drive, and 162nd, where the Baptist was,
yes,
that was supposed to be like an entertainment, like a movie theater.
It is. So, to
give me like an update on that construction there and what's going on, because I know a lot of people are interested in that.
Well, that's falling into this thing of work,
live, work,
play
there.
Which that's a brilliant idea to tell you, because I never thought about that. And I'd say the same thing. My wife wants me to move, and she's like, and I say, let's move more east because everything's to do over there. But I never thought about bringing the fun and entertainment to Kendall. That's a good idea.
Yeah, not to mention that we have so much talent in Kendall, right? That the entrepreneurs in Kendall are just waiting for this to happen. But let's talk about that 162nd project. To be fair, it's not something that I voted on. It's something that happened with the previous commission, right? But from what I have talked to the developers there is they are going to put an entire entertainment and restaurant component to it. There is going to be some housing that's there that's attributed mostly to that Baptist hospital. So it's going to be like workforce housing for nurses. Now, the logic here, and I think the logic that all of Miami-Dade County needs to have, is make sure that folks can live and work in the same area. Yeah. Now, like for example, here in Coral Gables, you can take one of these Coral Gables trolleys to your favorite restaurant and back. I'll do that all day. 5 minutes in a trolley to my favorite restaurant or to go shopping. I'm not going to be in a bus. Like for example, I took the bus from 147th and 8th to the county commission meeting in downtown. 90 minutes, brother. Wow. 90 minutes.
Possible.
That's
great.
crazy.
You can't do nothing with that.
Yeah.
That's it's useless.
So the best way to incentivize folks to use public transportation is to make that connectivity work, right? And create those nodes. Do it with the route. Do it with Coral Gables like it's been done. Do it in Kendall, connect all of them, and watch how the traffic not only is diminished, but you're able to provide real solutions for transportation.
Yeah. So that project in itself, do you have any ETA on it? Anything that's going on there? Do you have any update like on that point?
What I can tell you is I think folks are going to be really happy with a couple of the entertainment components that are going to be there. I don't think that I can talk about them publicly, but I can tell you that I think folks are going to be really happy with specifically one of the huge entertainment components that's going to go there. And I want to say that there's 2 restaurants that we've been trying to get in Kendall for a long time that developers are working.
Well, but it's safe to say it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. So at least all the people that live there, they have I
will say this too. They were trying to put more apartment buildings in there, and I told them,
yeah, I know that at least on social media, like Kendall is relatively chill, I think on social media, the only time I saw like an uproar recently, or couple maybe a year or so ago, was on 137, where people used to go and pick flowers and all that stuff, and now they just rammed in their apartment buildings now too.
I saw that, man.
But they're not that tall either. They're what, like 10 stories?
So that's not my district. That's Raquel's district.
Got you.
But I used to live right there. I used to live in Palmetto Place, which is right in front of the Hammocks District Police Station. Right.
So how far does your district expand? Does it go into Hammocks? Yeah.
It does. I have all of Hammocks. As a matter of fact, that's why I am the HOA guy, right? I passed a lot of legislation down in Miami-Dade County to make HOAs more transparent, to create a police force so that the police force can be ready to take complaints on HOAs. And more than that, I'm actually working on something right now with State Attorney Catherine Fernandez-Rondo, where she is creating a task force for HOA fraud.
Crazy. That was the biggest. Remember that happened in the Hammocks, and that's something you could talk about. That was going viral. And in the Hammocks, we had the biggest, I guess, fraud ever in HOA association. And that was like the case study, I believe, in order to have that happen. Or can you take us behind the scenes on?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So basically what happened is as soon as that indictment happened, I want to say that in order to get that indictment to happen, the attorneys needed to get real creative. And the reason is because there wasn't any teeth in legislation that can have them hold certain HOAs accountable. More than that, you had HOAs that were using funds that were collected from people to pay for their attorney's fees, right?
Yeah.
So what did I do? This is something that needs to be handled by the state. Luckily, God has looked out for me. I have a lot of friends in the state. So I went to the state and I talked to a lot of these legislators, including incoming Speaker Danny Perez. I talked to Mike Redondo. I talked to Vicky Lopez. And what they did is they drafted this bill, right? This law that got put forward in Florida that created some consequences, right? And some oversight. But it was the first bill, right? And it wasn't as strong. After I spoke to Catherine Fernandez-Rondo, what she really wanted was that criminality, those teeth, right? Yeah. So I came back to Miami-Dade and I passed a resolution countywide. And that resolution did 3 things. 1, it requires HOAs to publicize. When they do a special assessment, they got to tell you every cent that they spent and who they are paying, right? Because a lot of times there's not fraud in these HOAs, but guess what? If you told folks how you're spending the money, they're going to be happy, right?
Yep.
All they want is to see where the funds are going. I want to see where my money's going.
100%.
So it requires the transparency aspect of it. It also puts a point person in Miami-Dade PD, and that point person is ready to hear whether people are complaining about fraud or whether people think that there's fraud being done within their HOA.
So just a quick point there. So where would someone, if I want to report on HOA fraud or something like that, not that it's happening to me or anything like that, because I'm the president of my association. But,
oh boy.
I didn't know that. So if someone feels something's going on, who do you reach out to?
Brother, call my office, 305-375-5511. But more than that, I work with Raquel Regalado, who's a phenomenal commissioner. I work with Raquel, and we actually implemented a resolution that has attorneys that are training HOA members and helping them to understand these new laws. Would love to hook up your association, my friend.
Yeah, they are. They've been telling me they've been doing trainings.
And you know what I've seen?
I didn't know it was that serious, though.
You know what I've seen?
After that scandal?
Yeah, that's come on. How much money did they take from the Hammocks Association? It was something ridiculous.
It was crazy. But here's what I've seen. I've seen a lot of people after that happened with Hammocks, right? And we started getting involved with the community. I've seen a lot of people like you that have stepped up and said, you know what? I'm running for the association. And that's what we need.
Yeah.
We need people to run for their associations. As a matter of fact, we just visited Kendall Greens, right? Everybody in that little association as of now, right, is very, very happy. And like that, I can tell you a lot of success stories where there's HOAs that are being transparent, working for the people, and people are very happy.
But believe it or not, that's really how you change lives on a micro level.
Amen,
If you
brother.
fix
Amen.
someone's association, your grass is nicer, your asphalt's cleaner, and your doors are clean, you're walking into day-to-day life much
You're
better.
looking at property values even going higher.
Correct.
brother. So
Hey,
that-
but to his point, that's exactly what local politics is,
Correct.
man.
Yeah.
It's just that. It's just that at a bigger
Right.
level, man. And that's what we need. We need more regular people,
But-
everyday people to run for these positions.
Now, on that local politics, and that's my next question. So that's that part. Now you're in the commission.
Yes, sir.
So now, apart from your district, Miami-Dade has a huge budget.
Yes.
We have the airport, we have the port.
If I may add, I have an airport as well, Miami Executive
correct.
Airport.
Sorry, but talking about Miami International Airport and the fact of what are your feelings and what are you seeing with the fact of all the different complaints that have been coming in? I mean, we get them all the time. People trying to post stuff of
As far as the airport is
of
concerned,
the airport's concerned.
Listen.
So, what are you thinking, and what's the future of the commissioners thinking of how we can push and make that airport what it really should be?
brother, I actually have big plans for aerospace in Miami-Dade County. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys know, but Miami-Dade used to be a leader in aeronautics a long time ago. Are you familiar with Howard Hughes?
100%.
Howard Hughes used to live in Miami International Airport. Think about that, right? This is a pioneer in aeronautics. He used to live in MIA. We had the FAA that it was down here. But we actually have a school down here called George T. Baker. Have you folks heard of it?
One of the best aviation schools.
I went to George T. Baker.
Perfect.
Why is that important? I'm going to tell you why that's important. Because George T. Baker will actually allow your kids to go in there in 9th grade free, which means that Miami-Dade County Public Schools pays for it. They come out with an airframe and power plant license where they can actually work on airplanes making anywhere from $80,000 to $90,000 a year. Why is that important? The reason that's important is because if you want to be number one in any field, you need a pipeline. For example,
100%.
if we wanted to bring tech to Miami, the first thing we need to do is bring MIT and bring a Stanford. Is that possible? Yes, but it's going to take a long time. Once we have that, the companies will come. So what am I doing with aeronautics? I am actually taking George T. Baker and I am putting one in Miami Executive Airport. I'm also in communications and speaking with Miami-Dade College, and I'm also speaking with Embry-Riddle University. Why? The state of Florida is a leader in space. Space technology is the same technology that you need in order to get into aeronautics, right? Aeronautics and space are like this. So once you create that component of pipeline of young kids that are going to go into this school, come out making $80,000 to $90,000 a year, you are going to have an influx of these companies willing to come invest. But who's going to pay for it? The private sector is going to pay for it. Why would they pay for it, you would ask? I'm going to tell you why. In 2020, when COVID happened, right, you had all of these airplane mechanics and airplane engineers that retired. So right now you have a huge shortage in this industry. It's almost too easy, right? If you provide this solution, these big companies will come down and they will pay to have your kids come into this area so that they can service these airplanes. As a matter of fact, right now you have companies that are hiring kids without licenses to be supervised by folks with licenses to fix airplanes because it's such a huge demand.
That's impressive. So to that point, so you're bringing a school to the District 11 in order to teach them aeronautics and, so they can educate themselves in aeronautics and then have a pipeline that would eventually help us with the Miami International Airport situation.
Absolutely.
Down the line.
And then as far as MIA is concerned, you just need to be diligent, right? I can tell you that I have a great relationship with the director, Ralph Coutier. Have a great relationship. And if you look at what we've done in Miami Executive, right? I mean, it's elite right now.
Oh, so he's the director of the Miami International Airport. He's also in charge of Miami Airport?
of all the airports.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you look at Miami Executive, we have so many wins, right? So many new companies that are building out there, bringing jobs to Miami Executive because, for lack of a better word, I am annoying.
Yeah.
I am on top of it, right? And I'm always, always, calling every department, right? I'll give you another example, right? Let's talk about the roads in District 11. Did you guys know that we haven't had roads resurfaced in over 20 years?
Oh, wow, I didn't know.
That's embarrassing, man. As a matter of fact, that's why we have potholes, because every couple of years you need to resurface these roads. A pothole is just a bandage, right? And eventually you're going to get another pothole. You need to resurface these roads. As soon as I got in, I met with the mayor. I'm actually the only sitting commissioner that meets with the mayor every month.
Wow.
Because you have to work with people, man.
100%.
You have to work with people. You have to have conversations. I meet with the mayor. I tell her we need these resurfacing projects. I meet with the director of DTPW. We need these resurfacing projects. We don't have any money. We don't have any money for these roads. How don't we have money for roads, but we have money for all these other stuff in the budget?
Yep.
Right? So what did we do? My team found the money. We've resurfaced 10 roads already. We're going to the next 10 and the next 10. And I will say the same thing about parks, right? Maria Nardi's a great person, but she knows I'm annoying, and she knows I'm picking up the phone constantly, and I'm making sure that my parks are elite. Why?
Good.
Because the people deserve it, man. We pay a lot of taxes.
Yep.
And you know what we want? We want to make sure that our taxes are going to making our lives better.
Listen, so nobody can deny that you're putting in the work.
Oh, thank you.
So you're putting in the work. So if right now, with everything going on up there, if you had to make a call out to entrepreneurs or businesses, is there anything that you feel that is needed in Kendall right now, in West Kendall? Like, listen, I would like to see more of this out there.
I would say that the future of Miami is going to be geared towards aerospace education, right? It's going to be geared towards aerospace. But with that comes a lot of things, right? We need more shopping. We need more offices. We need more restaurants. We need more entertainment, right? All of those things are components that are needed in West Kendall. But if I would be bold enough to, like, for example, I just met with FIU and UM, and I told them, listen, you guys need to beef up your aeronautical engineering program, because Space Florida is leading the nation in space exploration.
And
right?
where do they stand on that right now?
They are beefing it up, sir. And I'm working with the University of Miami. I'm working with Florida International University, and their engineering program is going to go to another level. Once you create this ecosystem, right, the companies will come.
Gotcha. And I saw at one point, I think it was like 2 years ago, that they wanted to create that 137 extension. They wanted it to
Kendall
go
Parkway.
further down, all the way past the Everglades and everything.
Yeah.
I got denied, no?
So what happened with that particular project is that there were certain issues that were happening with the environment.
Correct.
I can tell you that there's been new studies that have been put forward. The Kendall Parkway needs to happen, right?
Okay.
I have been advocating
So
for
for
this.
those that don't know, because this is something that's very important, because this goes to your traffic situation. What is the Kendall Parkway? Where does it stand? And like, kind of like, what's the objective of it?
It would be an artery that would connect West Kendall, right? It would be a connector to West Kendall, so that when you're coming from downtown or you're coming from the north, you would have a direct avenue to get into West Kendall.
Yeah, and
right?
that would go
It's
follow the
very
137.
necessary. Follow the 137.
Continue it.
Yeah.
Continue, and then to where? Where was it going to end up?
136.
136?
136.
Yeah. Okay, so it would end up on 136th Street. Okay.
136th
Yeah.
Street.
That'd be a huge
But-
That'd be
improvement.
huge, especially for the agritourism thing that's happening right now.
Big time.
Absolutely. No, but it is necessary, because right now you have to travel tremendous distances just to get on the highway, right?
Yeah.
So that would alleviate traffic tremendously. What I can tell you is that I've been working with folks in Tallahassee. I've been working with folks in Tallahassee that are now in leadership, and they are from Miami. They understand how much this is needed. They understand the issues with the environment, and I think that not only is this going to happen, but it's going to happen responsibly and in a way that everybody's going to win.
And it has to. You have to, because we just keep on growing.
Yeah.
So it's
Absolutely.
not like, it's one thing that, you can say, we want to. No. It has to be. You got to look for a solution, because Miami keeps on growing.
And check this out. Once you have the Kendall Parkway, once you have these igniters of businesses where you have live, work, and play in West Kendall,
yeah.
once you have the actual connections,
That's even more reason.
now you really alleviate traffic. Now we can talk about things like the CSX line that can provide trail all throughout.
Yeah.
But you need the connectivity. You need to connect communities in order for their solutions to come. It's easy to come out and say, hey, let's solve traffic, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, but you need to think about how you plan accordingly in order to solve these problems.
But I think that's what I like about you, that you're planning ahead. You're getting involved. You're going door to door. I mean, it's refreshing to see that. And this might be like a dumb question, but is it possible to turn Kendall into a city? Like, how would that work if you want to turn Kendall into like its own city, like Coral Gables is, or City of Miami?
Well, you have to incorporate.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's. I mean, he can tell you better than anybody, but
I could tell you. I could tell you, right? So
would that make sense? First off, or is that
there was a commissioner? I forgot his name, but there was a commissioner a long time ago that their prerogative was to turn Kendall into a city, right? I don't think that's the right move for Kendall right now. I'm going to tell you why. More taxes.
Oh, 100%.
More taxes. In order to incorporate, you would be able to have those taxes stay in Kendall, but you would have to up those taxes.
Yeah.
Right now, we need to concentrate on putting money into people's pockets. Okay. I don't know if you guys have I'm sure you guys have noticed, right? But bread is more expensive. Eggs are more expensive. Gas is more expensive, right? What we need right now is to make sure that we provide an economic drive, that we put money back into our residents' pockets, right? And allow them to flourish. Maybe in the future, that's something that could be talked about. But right now, we cannot and will not increase taxes. As a matter of fact, I am one of, I want to say 4 commissioners that voted against putting the tax that was implemented for your trash fees up. And the reason I did that is because right now, I don't care if it's $100. I don't care if it's $5, right? We need to manage our budget accordingly so that people stop putting out money. I am not going to allow for taxpayers and residents to pay for government to grow. We need to shrink government and make sure that people keep their money in their pockets.
It's impressive.
Well, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, when you look at that, that's probably going to make a lot of difference if a lot of people even want to go and move to your district.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that may say, you know, I can't afford other districts. And this is an alternative. You say, this is where I want to go.
Yeah.
Because you make it better for your residents.
And you need to make it friendly for business. I'll give you a perfect
100%.
example. We have something called the Mom and Pop Grant. When I first got to District 11, the Mom and Pop Grant is up to $10,000 that you're going to get, right, from as a grant from the government so that you can have your business flourish.
So
right?
question, so what is the Mom and Pop Grant and how can you get it and what is it meant? Is it only for your district?
Brother,
or
it's for all of Miami-Dade County. A lot of people don't know about this. All you have to do is apply. Sometimes you'll get 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, depending on your business and depending on many factors. But man, at the very minimum, you have to apply. When I first got to this district, we had like 15 people apply. Right?
Wow.
We have quadrupled that. We had hundreds of people meet us at the West Kendall Regional Library because we put this on Instagram. We let small businesses know. Small businesses took advantage of it as they should. And you know, that's the frustrating thing sometimes about government. There's a lot of great programs that will help people, and people don't know about them. And that's something that I've changed. Matter of fact, this past weekend, I actually had the clerk of courts in our office helping people renew their licenses. I mean, look, I know that sounds like something that's minuscule, but otherwise, people have to drive all the way to downtown to do these things. You need to bring government to people's doors. You need to let people know where all these programs are, how they can get help. Does that make sense?
No, it reminds me of Vince. Vince does the Open Door Fridays.
Yes,
and he does it super good for him, you know, and he gets to talk
Well, but
to
I
the
think
people.
that what he's saying about bringing everything to your community, you know how many people you'll help with the fact of DMV, any type of renewal for your business or anything like that, and in local area, you can bring like a mobile or something.
Brother, I do that every month. Every month, I have a different department from the county come to my office, and I invite you guys to come to my office sometimes. It's glass. Why? Because I want you to be able to see everybody working. There is no back door.
Where is it located?
It's located on 127th and Bird Road. Come visit us. Visit us.
Whenever you have those things going on, let us know. Because, you know, one thing that a day in Miami would like to do is that we love to go ahead and also tell our people, inform them of different, you know, avenues that they can resolve situations.
Yeah. So very soon, we're going to have a book bag drive. I'm going to put you on the spot then.
Yeah,
absolutely,
we're having a book bag drive with Monica Colucci.
No issues.
We're having it's this Saturday. I don't know what the date is, but it's this Saturday.
Well, you let us know.
Starting at 10 a.m. We're gonna give out free book bags. We're gonna have professional barbers giving free haircuts so that people can look fresh and have a nice book bag. Have nice school supplies to go back to school.
I like it.
I like that a lot.
I like it.
So, a couple more things. This went viral. So, what are your thoughts, a little bit more lighthearted, on A-Rod telling that Kendall is the hood, which I don't believe we're the hood, but that for whatever reason was the way he decided to
maybe
term
it's
us.
his version.
Maybe it's his version.
I don't. You know, I mean, I don't.
I'm a big fan of A-Rod and everything he's done. As a matter of fact, him and I both sponsor some young kids that go to Columbus High School, which is a great school.
Yeah.
And I appreciate and admire everything he does with entrepreneurship, because I think that mentorship and helping young kids get into entrepreneurship is the best thing that you can do, right? But as far as the hood goes, I would describe Kendall as an up and coming, vibrant suburb. I would describe Kendall as the best place to live for young families in Miami-Dade County.
I would agree.
100%. And you know what? This stands now as an invitation that we can bring A-Rod so he can explain about that.
I know your daughter hangs out with her family too.
Let me go ahead and ask him to come and explain that of
that would
what
be
he
awesome.
meant with that.
So what is a day in the life of Roberto Gonzalez as a commissioner?
As a commissioner, I am in and out of meetings all day long. I meet with a lot of different departments. I meet with a lot of people. Every month, we go out and we knock on doors to speak to people and hear their perspective. Every day, I am just out there talking to the departments, being annoying and making sure that they're taking care of my residents. Right? Anything like. I'll give you a perfect example. Like I will be on Instagram and I'll get a direct message from a random resident that says, "Hey, my garbage wasn't picked up today. Your garbage wasn't picked up today." Screenshot, send it to my team, and their garbage is picked up in hours. Or I'll get a message on Twitter where somebody says, "Hey, there's a pothole on 147th and 10th Street. Pothole on 147th and 10th Street." Screenshot, send it to my team. In 3 hours, it's taken care of.
Yeah.
So you heard it here.
Sometimes the what is it? The 311, 311.
No, don't call 311.
311 can take a little bit long.
311 is fantastic, and those folks are tremendous people that are trying to do a great job for all of our residents. But call me.
I always
call my office.
I always say it's very
375-5551.
I think it's important for everybody. You have a problem, you just call your commissioner.
So I'll tell you right now, if you have a pothole, you live in Kendall, take a picture. Call
your commissioner from your district.
Follow in
Let's
Kendall.
not get now somebody another Kendall. Call Robert with a pothole that's not his.
Follow Commissioner Robert Gonzalez on Instagram and send him a DM, and he's going to resolve it for you.
All right, now go ahead and ask him the question.
Yeah, so this is an important question, okay? This is one that it stumps everyone, and I'd like to phrase it like this. At the moment, right now, your rotation, what are your top 3 restaurants in your district?
Okay, so if you want chicken wings,
there you go.
You got to go to Hammocks Grill.
100,000%.
You have to go to Hammocks Grill. As a matter of fact,
formerly known as Sports Grill.
If you're from Kendall and you haven't been to Hammocks Grill, I question whether you're from the hood or not.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
Okay, that's that. So that's covering chicken wings, right? When we go to other things, I have to side with my 3-year-old daughter, right? Finca and Islas Canarias are the best croquetas in Miami. I am sorry.
No, you're right.
I know. I know there's a lot of great croquetas out there, but they're the best
we've had
croquetas in Miami.
croqueta wars here that you cannot even imagine. And the breaking wars,
shout out to Jonathan, very good people, and Eileen.
Yeah.
Right. Now, when we talk about pizza, right, I got like 2 contenders. And I'm sticking to my district.
Good.
Because there's a lot of great pizza in Miami, but Vice City is tremendous. Strange Beast. Don't know if you guys have been there, but it's culinary pizza.
I like it.
I have not.
It's very creative, delicious.
No, and excellent customer service. They make it friendly. It's fun. That used to be a quickie stop when I was growing up, and that would be where we would all go to fights. We would all go on 152nd and Sunset to go fight after middle school.
And it's crazy because I've talked to the owner. And he really, the reason he chose that spot is because he wanted to clean it up, and it was a staple.
He did a good job.
Yeah, he
did it. Yeah. And they have Sweet Melody to the left that became viral. Now Sweet Melody opened up now in Coral Gables.
Amazing ice cream.
Yeah, amazing ice cream too.
Okay. And so, in family restaurant, like with the whole family? Y La Canaria?
Finca's awesome.
I agree.
Yeah. That was the first dinner I had with my now wife and my family that I introduced her to at Finca. That's pretty cool.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's a good story.
Yeah, it's a good story. It's a good story. I went to Ferguson. I graduated in 07. I'm a Kendall boy. I grew up born and raised in Kendall.
Ferguson's a good school.
They have good talent too.
Ferguson's a good school. Good talent.
Commissioner, so anybody out there in your district that wants to help, let them know election day. How can they start voting already for for you already.
Well, listen, anybody out there, I don't care whether you're a Republican or a Democrat,
Well,
everybody out there, you need to register to vote.
Absolutely.
You need to get involved. You need to go to county commission meetings. You need to get involved, and you need to know who your local representatives
100%.
are. You need to know who your state representative is. You need to know who your state senator is. You need to know who your county commissioner is. You need to know who the mayor is, right? A lot of people think Francis is the mayor of Miami-Dade.
Yep.
Francis is the mayor of Miami.
Correct.
Cava is the mayor of Miami-Dade, right? All of these things, you need to understand these things. You need to get involved. You need to register to vote, and you need to vote.
All right, so give us your top reasons. Why should someone vote for you right now?
Why should somebody vote for me?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a Miami guy. I'm a Kendall guy, and I do this because I love this community. And I give it 150% because I love this community. I have 2 girls and 1 on the way. So I got 3 babies, right?
Oh, boy.
Congratulations.
I want to I want to make Miami-Dade be what I know Miami-Dade could be. See, this is the way I see Miami right now, man. Miami is where New York was in the 40s, where Chicago was in the 50s, right? It's about to be the major metropolitan area in the world, right?
Yeah.
But we need to make the right decisions, and we need to do the proper planning to get it to where we're supposed to be in history.
Yeah.
If not, we're going to miss a tremendous opportunity. So
agree.
why should people, put their faith in me? They should put their faith in me because I am going to make sure that happens, right? I'm going to make sure that happens because I want my city, my county, right, to be remembered in history as one of the greatest ever.
Yeah. Well, you definitely have the energy. You have the positive outlook.
The coffee helps.
After that, he's drinking a colada by himself. How much more energy you want the guy?
No, but like I see it on Instagram, man. He's thinking videos of potholes.
I got it.
He's doing the
But
work.
the guy's taking down a colada by himself.
No, listen, if again, I'm going to throw this out there again. If you claim to be from Miami and you count down a whole colada, I question
Right?
whether you're
Okay.
from the hood, man.
Okay.
So this is like,
I can take down a whole bottle of tequila, but maybe the thing of the colada I don't know about, but we can do tequila.
So it feels like kind of like New York, They used to say if you can make it
Yeah.
there, you can make it anywhere. I think that's transitioning.
I think we're taking over that model.
Yeah.
We are.
I think
We're the
we're
new
taking over
New
that
York.
model
We're the
over
new
here.
New York. We're the new Chicago.
Yeah.
We're the new Dubai. We are that major metropolitan area.
Well, listen.
We need to start acting like it.
I
though.
always say it, and I keep on repeating it. This is not Miami, Florida. I call this Miami, USA.
Amen.
I feel that we are our
Amen.
own country here.
Amen,
because
brother.
what we have here, nobody else has.
yeah.
Amen.
You
Amen.
travel all over. I just got back from the Mediterranean, and I laugh because everybody that grew there and friends, everybody said, wow, I can't wait to get back to Miami. However you could be, you can see beautiful stuff,
yep.
and you learn new stuff, but you say, I can't wait
There's
to
nothing
get
like
back
this
to
city.
Miami.
There's nothing like,
You know?
And to your credit, and I was talking to Kyle the other day, all these situations that we have are a lot of times has to do with the influx of people coming into our city or
Right.
to our county. And it is a balancing act. It's easier said than done to fix all these things. So it takes dedication, consistency, being on top of people and, just,
and
being
again,
transparent.
I can't stress this enough. As a resident, you have power. As a resident, you have a voice. You need to make that voice be heard. You need to get involved. If not, do not complain.
Yeah,
Right?
100%.
You
100%.
need to get involved. And listen, I don't care what district you're from. Call my office and I will help you get involved.
I like that.
I don't care what party you belong to. Call my office.
That's
I will
important.
help you get involved.
He's going to have to hire like 15 more people. That's
That's
Man, my
important.
team, I got the best team in Miami-Dade. I mean, I got to say it. I got the
Yeah.
best team in Miami-Dade County.
Good. Well, Commissioner, a real pleasure, man.
Hey,
to have
man,
you.
thank
Thank
for
you,
having
brother.
Pleasure.
We appreciate it, and we'll be looking out for election results and election night,
Okay, have him again.
and be there to celebrate with you.
Amen, brother.
There
You
you
know what
go.
I'm saying?
Amen.
Hopefully, we have more like you.
I hope
Amen.
so.
Oh,
That's
amen.
important.
That means a lot to me, you saying that.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah, he doesn't
Well,
say that. He doesn't say that lightly either.
So the next show, we'll see you in the next one.